We are in full party mode. So getting to this point really is not difficult. You got to knock this out, make sure you take the nut off, turn it upside down, then you can knock that out. I did heat this portion just like I did on the last one. I'm not going to cover all of everything up to this point because I did that in the last video. I'm trying to make this one shorter, basically just to cover the axle removal and removal and installation of the bearing. So the biggest thing we had issues with, or an issue with, was the drain plug. It was seized in the differential, and of course the little Allen head hole stripped out, and I ended up hammering in Torx bits and all kinds of things. Couldn't get it, tried to chisel it out, and ended up welding this nut to it, and then it came loose. It came loose easily after I welded the nut on. So if you don't weld, maybe try, if yours is stuck too, before you try to get it out and strip the hole, heat this up. Take a torch and heat this up hot, because the heat is really what made the difference on this one. Once I had that good and hot after welding this nut on, and 11/16 nut I think it was, and a long ratchet 1/2-inch drive, came right out. So if you want part numbers, here are your part numbers for the drain plug, gasket, and the fill plug gasket. So those are the Toyota part numbers. Not advocating buying stuff at the dealer, but in this case, had no choice. So I'm going to go under and show you how the setup is for the slide hammer. We're going to be pulling the axle with a slide hammer. This is just a Harbor Freight slide hammer set. And so let me show you underneath, and then we'll get started. All right, as part of your slide hammer set, there's going to be this little piece here, and that has a hook on the end of it. And that hook is going to hook into one of these notches. Got this large hose clamp on here holding it in place. I'll come in from the side, thread the slide hammer into that piece there, and a couple whacks, we should be out. It's a little finicky trying to get this lined up. All right, I think we're in. All right, and off we go. Well, the hook came off. Let's reset. All right, so how it looks out here is like that. I'm going to be pulling this back, trying to pull that axle out. All right, there we go. So there's our hammer out of the way. And the axle. Can we get the axle out of here? Yes. And our clip is still on the end. So what holds these in place, there's a little clip. It's a little C-clip. Okay, here we go. Let's reset underneath or get a different angle for the seal. All right, so once you get to this point, that's what you're going to be seeing. I'm going to pull this seal out. And I've got to stuff a couple of little rags or one little rag up in there. Then we'll get the tool set up. All right, so I've got a seal puller. Not a lot of room to work right here for this seal puller. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I have to use the pry bar. Yeah, that's not going to work. Just don't have any leverage for this where I'm at. There's no way to grab it. Pry bar it is. All right, now as I drip oil everywhere. All right, so our seal is out. I'm going to wipe out that outer bore where the seal goes. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll clean that up before I put the seal in. All right, so let me grab the tool and we'll get that set up. All right, so here's the tool. And this is what we're removing. So basically, to set this up, take this nut off. This will come off. And really, you just take all of it apart, because what's going to happen, this piece here, so let's say the bearing is sitting in the differential. What you have to do is work this through from the side to where it's sitting like this on the back. And once you get it back behind there lined up, or actually once you have it in, thread in the bolt portion. Make sure this stays centered so you're pulling on the bearing. And once you have that snug, you just start tightening the nut, and this is going to pull it out of the housing. But you got to work this through at an angle and get behind there. The reason you stuff a rag or something in there, because you have to use a magnet or something to get this inside there, and if this falls down in, it's inside your differential, and you may or may not be able to fish it out. So it's hard to get a decent angle on this, but here we go. Let's move that. And the oil spill, just roll right through it. Why not? Oh man, where's the nut? I have lost the nut. Where was the nut? It was just in my hand. Come on, man. Oh, it's way over here. Yep. You ever do that? Have something in your hand to go walk across the garage or whatever you're working on, come back to where you're working, and whatever you were working with, you leave it across the room and then you forget where you put it. All right, so we're snug. I'm going to see if this will start pulling. No, I don't think we're lined up. It doesn't take a lot of force to get this out. So if you're having to really crank on this thing, it's not lined up. All right, I just felt it move. All right, here we go. Awesome. And there it is. Don't forget to pull this out. Or whatever you put in there. All right. Clean this up a little bit. All right, next will be the bushing. I've had this in the refrigerator, the garage refrigerator, really close to the cooling coils. That's the coldest part, so let's see if that helped. Ooh, beer. So the purpose of trying to cool it is to make it a little smaller. When you get it, you're going to have two layers. The two layers go in. The solid part goes out. So we're going to get our tool. And let's see if we can get this started straight. That was the biggest problem I had last time. It's getting it started straight. Hey, that refrigerator trick, that is the jam, because this is way easier than the last one. Awesome. A little bit more. All right. So this tool will bottom out. You can't really go past flush. And we're there. And so once that's in, that's what you're going to see right there. Next to be the seal. And then we reassemble. All right, so the next step is to take your tool, take the handle and install it on this part, just like that. This outer lip, that's going to go out. So this is going to tuck in here like that, and then you'll knock it in. Now this is pretty easy to put in. Really probably don't have a tool. This, don't have to have a tool to do this, I was going to say, but this lip would make it more difficult, so you'd have to have something where you don't mess that up. So that's what this does. It tucks in here, protects that lip. All right, let's get the seal in. I did put a thin film of Permatex Ultra Gray on the surface, oops, where this seal rides or goes in. So let's get that in. I think we're most of the way in. All right, I think that's it. We're out a little bit farther on this side. Running out of room here with a long tool. All right, that did the trick. Still sticking out just a touch. Right there. Okay, I think we are good. Take some oil and put on this part of the seal. Okay, we are ready to put the axle in. All right, so remember those notches that we used to pull the axle? We're also going to use those to install. So basically what I'm going to do, once you get this started, you're going to be fighting that clip again, but going in is a lot easier than coming out. So basically what I'll do is get this started, and I'll hook this on that notch there and just tap it in with a hammer. Not entirely sure that I'm lined up with the spider gear, but let's give it a go. I'm not lined up somewhere. Okay, let's reset. All right, so I went under and moved things around a little bit. And there she goes. All right. All right, we are going for a quick drive just to make sure there are no bad noises. And then we'll check for leaks when we get back. I did have an audible whine before, and I'm pretty sure it's gone. The differential was definitely low on oil. The front diff, I believe, holds 1.6 quarts. Do your own research. And 1.6 quarts did not come out. So I'm not sure of the story there, but I think the little whine that I was hearing previously is gone. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video. Somebody else might be able to use some of this information. It's not perfect, but it gives you a good idea of what you're up against. We really lost a lot of time on this with the seized drain plug, but glad we got it fixed. So anyway, enjoy your Toyotas, guys. They are awesome. We'll see you on the next one.